Now, we had a chat on the phone with our next guest just after she was crowned the winner of the F1 Academy, Abbi Pulling, and she's got a big season to look forward to in GB3. A fully funded season, as we were touching on.
Must be music to her ears.
Yeah, Abbi has joined us. Congratulations again, Abbi. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. No, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And there is, as we said, there is so much riding on it. You had to kind of take a step back in your career a while back, didn't you? Because you couldn't afford to continue. So to get a fully funded season with the amount of travel that's involved in GB3 and in motorsport, it must be a godsend to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, last year in F1 Academy, it was, win it or bin it, basically. I had to win to get the prize that F1 Academy offers, and a fully funded seat meant I could go into winter very comfortable, which is nice.
How do you fund it? How have you funded it so far?
Lots of networking, kind of being in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people, and showing them how much I want it, and showing them some good results.
And they're kind of investing in your future, because they can. I mean, I suppose the ultimate prize really is F1, and that is almost certainly going to happen one day, whether it's with you or another woman driver, hopefully. But they're taking a sort of chance on you, feeling like you've got, you can do it. You can get to
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, and it's really, really nice that people are in my corner, and there's so many people pushing me along to try and get to that end goal of Formula One. And with the prize going into GB3, it's a step in the right direction, and I just, it's still a bit of a wait to go till we get in the car, and I'm just so giddy to get going.
So how will your week play out? I mean, I'm assuming you race on a Saturday or a Sunday, so the rest of the week are you testing? Is it like that? Is it quite a full-time job?
Yeah, so the first race weekend is end of April, so it'll be Thursday test, I think even Friday test, Saturday, Sunday qualifying and races. There'll be one qualifying and 3 races, so it's pretty good track time, but I'm not racing every weekend of the year, although I wish I was. So in between, I'll be doing a lot of training, talking to people like you, and doing some media, and again, networking, going to events, and all the fun stuff.
And I take it, apart from the driving, you're doing, it's physically demanding as a sport, so you're doing lots of stuff in the gym as well?
Yeah, exactly. This is quite a big step up from what I've been driving in the past, and especially kind of on the neck. That's the one thing in the car that you have no support on, so you have to have a really strong neck, and this new car is very fast around the corners, so big jump in that.
How do the cars differ then, Abbi? Tell us how the
It's a single seater, is it?
Yes, so single seater. So the GB3 is essentially it's an F3 car, and F1 Academy was an F4 car, so that jump is quite big. I mean, the cornering speed alone is significant. In the F3 you have a lot more downforce. In the F4, I would say it's majority is mechanical grip, so it's got a lot of movement. It's not really sucked to the ground, whereas the F3 car, that's where you're now getting into the territory where you can really send it into the corners. The car is being sucked to the ground, and anyone would look at a corner and be like, yeah, you can't get a car around there at 100 miles per hour. It's like, no, you can.
That's where the bravery comes in, man. And when do you, is that what you do in testing? Sort of test yourself, dare yourself? Is it like daring yourself to go that fast around the corner, or do you just feel it and build it up incrementally?
Yeah, I mean, you just feel it. I've grown up with it my whole life, so I'm fairly used to going around the circuit and trying to get the car on the limits. It's just understanding where them limits are. It's quite easy to go over them. So it's stuff like that, and even just procedures that, the warm up of the tyres is actually quite an art to it. You can get it really wrong, or you can get it really right, and it's just working with the team and getting the muscle memory. You do a lot on the simulator as well. It's much cheaper way of getting out testing is on a simulator, but nothing beats the actual car.
F1's seen as a bit of a rich person's plaything, isn't it? F1 and motor racing is sort of the ultimate boys' toy. It was all boys with F1. How do you think motor racing could develop more people to get into it, to try and take away the financial barriers?
Yeah, I mean, I've said so much that I'm really privileged to be able to be in this sport. It is financially really demanding, and the better you get and the higher up you get, the more that becomes. So it is really tough, and it's something that I've had to outsource by getting sponsorship elsewhere. My family can't do that, but I think the big thing with what F1 Academy is doing, it's given me the opportunity to go racing this year, and also what I was doing last year. It's significantly cheaper and subsidised, and we're on live TV. Young girls are watching at home and they're seeing it and they believe that I can do that.
If you see it, you can do it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, and to be that part of the puzzle is really nice.
Did you start off in karting? Was that your route in? How old were you?
I started karting when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
But I was at a track since I could walk and talk, really. Cause
Is that a kind of family influence? Is that what got you into it?
Yeah, my dad raced on motorbikes, 2 wheels. He's a bit more crazy than me. I wanted to keep my collarbone intact.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did endurance racing actually. So it's something a bit different. You don't normally get endurance racing on motorbikes, but yeah.
But so track endurance racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. Wow. Hey.
So you is a bit of a you travel around the world to different. I mean, many of the tracks will be sort of well known to people who follow motorsport, and they're quite iconic tracks that you race at.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never ever let anyone not know that I raced at Singapore. It's an incredible track and venue, place. I mean, as well with racing, you like many sports, you go from the airport to the hotel, then to the venue, and then back to the hotel and to the airport. You don't really get to see too much, whereas Singapore, I kind of went and saw some of the sights and made sure I enjoyed myself and took it in, which it was important for me to do that. I was
reading a piece about you on the Formula One website, and there's 2 of your fellow drivers from last year. Big smiles on your faces, but is there a bit of edge? We see a bit of edge in F1, or is it a sort of a friendly circuit? And what are you expecting when you make that step up? Everybody wants to beat everybody else, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, F1 Academy was really, really friendly. Everyone really got along. Although we, like you say, wanted to beat everyone on track, it was a really nice. I don't want to say community, but group of girls. And
so no tear-ups then when somebody spins you off the track and off go the gloves and throwing a strop, none of that goes on?
No, well, last year I didn't have any of that, luckily. I mean, the year before I had a little ding-dong once, but it's all good. We all know that we're here for the same reason. There's emotions are high, like in any sport, but I mean, this year... going into GB3, it's the most important year of my career, so I need to make sure I keep emotions in check, not get ahead of myself, and just focus on doing everything I can on track.
So this year will be fully funded. I mean, what happens if you have a good year? What's the road ahead from your point of view? Because this is one below F3, isn't it? GB3.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 3. It's not 3.5, but it's kind of like an in-between F4 and F3. And it's a new car, really fast, more downforce. It's exciting. But the next step, would be FIF3 and progressing up in that ladder. Depending on how well this year goes. I guess depends on if I'm able to do... make that jump or do another year at this level, or I don't like to speak about it, but if it goes really wrong, then if I continue or not.
Is the car, are you pleased with the car going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a new car for everyone. The car none of the teams have them yet, so we're not able to test it until we get them. It's a bit of a weird situation. It's an unknown, just because the regulations have changed. So I think we're all just giddy. We don't know what it's going to be like. What
are you like in a normal car, Abbi?
Yeah, have you passed your test
yet? Have you got a black box?
No,
you have to stay under a certain... Does your mum let you drive or not?
I was very adamant I wasn't going to have a black box. No, I'm really safe on the roads, I think. I think when I first got going, I was a bit giddy, and it'd been COVID, and I'd got my licence a bit late, so I just loved being on the road. But now I wish I had an automatic car, and I could just go easy and just have a simple... I could do everything on track.
Can't lose your licence, can you? If you lose your licence on the road, you still allowed to race?
No, if in Motorsport UK, if you lose your licence, then that's it. There's a few drivers have had that. So.
And you have to do. There is because there was one of the drivers the other day, and he just passed his test, didn't he? The new. That's Antonelli. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So he's only just passed, but he also does a kind of a sort of super. Driving test as well, a sort of racing driving test. Is that what you have to do as well? Or?
Yeah, it's called an ARDS. So you have a written exam. It's very similar. You have a written exam, and then you have evaluation, driving around the track, make sure, you don't have to set the world alight, you don't have to be, Lewis Hamilton, but as long as you're competent enough with the gears and being self-aware with what's around you, then
I should be in the examiner for that.
Yeah.
When I hit the dashboard, I want you to stop.
Yeah, doing 180 mile an hour into a corner.
I can't do it, mate.
When you did your normal road driving test, did you get any minors, Abby?
Yeah.
I think I did, actually. And funnily enough, one of them was for control. I think I didn't feed the wheel or something. I'd like race and drive with both hands into a corner.
And the examiner wouldn't have known what you do or anything about you, would they? I mean, or did they?
Took the racing line.
Who do you think you are? Lewis Hamilton.
My person that trained me, they knew. I mean, it sounds crazy. Yeah, I had to be trained because the rules of the road. But yeah, my actual tester didn't know.
Yeah. You don't want to get confused. You're on the start of a race going mirror signal manoeuvre.
Yeah, exactly.
Just suddenly, you poodle out.
Doing toe heel gear changes on the exam.
Yeah.
Might have been.
I don't think that would have been.
So is it Silverstone? Is that the first one, or when's your first race?
Yeah, Silverstone is the first on the Grand Prix circuit. There's 2 that race there. There's 4 European races, so we go to like Monza, Spa, Zandvoort, and
Spa's
Budapest.
Spa's a great track.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't rain.
It might rain.
Yeah, it's probably going to rain.
At our local go-kart track in Dawlish Warren, by the beach, there was one corner they used to throw industrial soap suds on the corner so everyone would spin out. Do they do that?
Really? I really hope not.
Everybody on GB3 listening.
Could bring that in, mate.
Bring in the Dawlish soap suds system. Nice one. Abby, all the very best.
Good luck, Abby.
We'll be looking out for you. Do keep in touch and tell us how you're getting on. And so we'll report back to the listeners when's the first race? Is it in April, you say?
End of April.
Okay.
You know what? I've not memorised my calendar yet.
Don't worry about it.
Well, brilliant. It's a great story, and we wish you well. Thanks for joining us. It's Abbi Pulling, the winner of the F1 Academy. Will be driving in GB3 this season.